we
Right.
have like
Conference will now
All
be
right.
recorded.
Yeah. Including raw, yes. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah. Go,
in
sorry. Go
characters
ahead.
we have alphabets, and when we put the characters it should be in the quote, in the inverted commas. And in the logical we have true and false, and true or false will be in the capital letters. And then
Hmm.
integers, it contains a whole number, um, that is not a fraction like minus infinity to infinity. And a complex number, it has a like a binary like a plus bi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the numerical, it contains the decimal points. It's also, and the raw is stored as a, like we give the values to like alphabets, like you said hello, and H has a value 48, and E has a value of different L, and then O has a value, right?
Yeah.
And then you told me about on the screen our studio script, and we have a console, and that's it, right?
Yep. That's it. That's it. Great. Great. Okay. So today we are going to learn few more data types. Okay. What we talked about yesterday, the 6 types are called basic data types. Okay.
Okay.
Those are very primitive. They can store only one values. Now we are going to talk about complex data type, or we call a data structure. Okay, the right word is data structure, or
Mhm.
complex, where it is combination of primitive data types.
It's a combination
Okay,
of.
primitive data types. So it can store more than one
Mhm.
primitive or simple data type that we discussed yesterday. Okay,
Okay.
most important or most frequently used type is called vector. Okay,
Mhm.
and we get into this special program, you'll come to know. Okay, you will see a
Mhm.
vector can store more than one value. Okay,
Mhm.
and the thing is it should be of same type. Okay, data type which.
Okay.
Okay, so you see an example here on the screen. So if I'll code it. So this is, say, I call it as colors. So colors, no, colors is the inbuilt type. So I call it as color.
Mhm.
Color is a variable. Okay, and I'm saying color equal to, right?
Yeah.
If I say red, it becomes string. Correct?
Mhm.
Color is of type string. Now I
Mhm.
want to make color to store more than one value, one string. Okay,
Mhm.
so so you say red, green,
Then comma. Okay.
blue. Okay,
Mhm.
so it should be in quote. Okay,
Mhm.
and we put them in simple bracket. Okay, and we
Yeah.
put a special character C before the bracket.
Okay.
Okay, so this becomes
Mhm.
type vector. Vector is a linear collection of more than one primitive data type values.
Mhm.
Okay, so now if I type color, of course it won't come here. I say, um, you know, uh, print color,
Color.
and I run this. Okay, so now if you see here, there is this run. This run will do line by line running. So that means
Mhm.
if I put my cursor here on line number 1 and I click here, see it has executed line number 1 and it has come to line number 2, waiting for me to hit run again. Okay, so it gave
Okay.
red, green, blue. Now if I come here and instead of this, if I hit run here, you see, okay,
Yeah.
what it says is rerun the previous code region. Okay, the previous code, whatever you ran, will be executed. So previous I ran print color, so
Mhm.
it is doing print color. Okay, only the last step is re-executed. Okay, There's
Okay.
something called a source here. Okay. Now see the difference. You asked me
Mm-hmm.
yesterday the difference. I'll show you. So
Yeah.
source, there's a drop down button. That means there is more option. One source, and then what's the second one is source with echo.
That's really good. Mm-hmm.
So source, if I hit, so I mean source or source with echo, whatever I hit, it's going to run all the lines of code that I have here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if I hit source here, by default it is source. So it has executed line number one and line number two together. Now let's see the difference between source one and two. If I hit without any code, okay, it has given me the output red, green, blue.
Mm-hmm.
If I hit second, okay, what it has done, I said with echo, okay. With echo means it's going to show me how it is run on the command prompt. So it shows color. It's going to execute each line on the command prompt. On the first, if you do not say
Okay.
echo, if you just say source, it it will run only the output. What is there? It will be shown.
Okay.
Okay, all the
Mm-hmm.
steps are not shown. If you say with echo, it's going to show you each step. Okay,
Yeah.
most of the time when you are well versed with the programming, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you are quite good with programming. Not even
Mm-hmm.
quite good. If you just know programming, okay, a little bit of experience, you
Mm-hmm.
may not want to run with echo. You just want to see the output first.
Yeah.
And if you get any problem, okay, then you want to
Mm-hmm.
show with you want to see with echo, where did I go wrong,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Okay. So the difference you asked me yesterday, what is the difference between without print and print?
Mm-hmm.
So see here, if I say print and I say without echo, if I run,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I have selected with echo. So go here and click source without echo. It is printing red, green, blue.
Just in the okay.
Correct? Now if I delete
Yeah.
this print
Mm-hmm.
and I just say color. So if I run without echo, you get to see nothing on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay? There's no output.
Yeah.
Okay, because we are not doing anything. We're not telling program to
Mm-hmm.
do anything. Okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It has created a no a variable color. It is inside. It has stored, but it has not given us any output because we do not want any output to be shown. But if I run with echo,
It-
there is no change. Okay,
Okay.
so the difference, without echo, you do not get anything on the screen
Mm-hmm.
if you do not give print. Okay, that's
Yeah.
a minor difference. Okay, so when we write big programs, we generally say print. Okay, we want print so that we can
Okay.
hide all the intermediate steps and only focus on main step.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you do not put print, it will assume it to be a minor step. Okay, and it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
show you the output.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
so coming back to our program, I'm saying color equal to C vector red, green, blue. It becomes a vector and it has three values which are red, green, and blue. Okay. Um, and yesterday we learned one more function called class, right? So if I say, I go here, I say class of color
I will show you
is
character.
character,
Yeah.
right? That means
Mm-hmm.
it has all character inside. That's why it says character. Okay,
Okay.
so vector is simply a collection of your primitive data type. Okay,
Okay.
okay, um, okay. So now this is one way of declaring. So how many values are there here in this vector? This is called vector v. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
how many values are there in this vector?
Three values.
Correct. Give me 1 second. I forgot to switch on the charge. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
MX. Okay. So second way, okay.
Okay.
Second is you define a vector, but without any values in it. Okay. So I go here and I say color 2, okay, equal to vector, okay,
Mm-hmm.
numeric, comma 10. Okay, I say color 2 equal to vector numeric comma 10. Okay, so what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that vector 2 is a variable of type vector. That means it can have more than one, of course. And I'm saying it can
Mm-hmm.
store 10 values. Okay, and all of them needs to be of type numeric. So I said, right, vector, all the values has
Mm-hmm.
to be of same type.
Okay.
Okay, so to just guess what will happen if I enter, if I declare a variable, okay, like
Mm-hmm.
first case, okay, just let just like first case, I say color equal to red, green, blue, and then I say
Mm-hmm.
comma 5.
Okay.
Okay, so first three is of type character, last one is of type numeric. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it is not right. Okay, but one hint I give you is the program will not throw error. Okay, so what will happen? Guess, guess.
Uh, Sorry.
Use your
One more time. Can you ask one more time?
okay. So what I'm saying, so I declare like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if I say the class of color, I say that
Mm-hmm.
I said that color vector has to be of same type, same data type.
Mm-hmm.
But in this
Mm-hmm.
case, I have added one string, second string, third string, but fourth one is a numeric. I've added three character and one numeric.
Mm-hmm.
I've added three characters and one numeric. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
if I run color, what value do you expect to see? Or what will be the class of color here? What will be the class of color? It has three string,
Class of
three,
color will be yeah.
yeah.
It's a character,
Guess.
and
Why do you think it's a
then
character?
it has a 5 because
Correct.
uh, because the main, I mean 5 is not a, I mean the main thing is the red, green, blue, right?
Why main thing?
Uh,
I can say 5, 10, 15, 20. Then what happened?
mm,
Okay, just guess. I have not told you, just but I want you to think.
mhm,
Okay, so hint I gave you was it will not throw error. Okay, so it will convert into character. Okay, so
mhm,
5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 20, 35, all
mhm,
these can be converted into string. Correct? We can convert
mhm,
into string. 5 can be converted into string,
mhm.
but red, green, blue cannot be converted into
Become
numeric.
numeric, right?
Okay, correct. Numeric, yeah. Because if you try
Mm-hmm.
to convert red, it will throw error.
Yeah.
So even if everything, so logically everything, can be converted into string.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, literally everything can be converted into string. So what will happen if you have different data types? Okay, but if one of them is a string, it will convert everything into string.
Okay.
Okay, because everything can be converted. 5 can be converted into string, but yellow, blue, green, red cannot be converted into
Become numeric. Yeah.
numeric. So string cannot be converted into numeric, but numeric can be converted into string. So that's why if
Mm-hmm.
you have even one, string, it will string in the character. So actually, word is character. I keep calling it string, but there's most other languages calling string. So that's it just comes out. But it's character. Actual
Mm-hmm.
word in R is character. So even one
Okay.
character you have, it becomes all character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, so here, so what happens in line 4? Color 2 is a variable which can store 10 data
10
type,
values of.
10
Mm-hmm.
values,
Mm-hmm.
okay, of numeric.
Okay.
Okay. So if I print color, if I say, sorry, if I print color 2, what do you get to see?
We will see sorry, correct. Mm, if you print color 2, right? We will see vac um
Okay. You will see
numeric.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So it will add 10 zeros. You know, you see 3, 5, 7, 3, 10.
Okay, 10 times 0. Okay, numeric has because we didn't put the value, so it comes 0, right?
Exactly. You got it.
Okay.
Now if I
Okay.
say character,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Now let's run and see what will happen. What did you get? What did you get?
Okay, in inverted commas, right?
Inverted comma, that
Yeah.
means there's
So
nothing
10
blank.
times. It's the 0, it's an null, right? Okay.
Yep,
Okay. If you put 12, then you will get the 12 times, right?
exactly. Exactly. You get 12 times. So if it is numeric, you will get 0. If it is
Mm-hmm.
character, you will get
Mm-hmm.
blank. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you get 10 blank spaces. So it will
Okay.
reserve 10 blank spaces for string. Okay,
Okay. If we put logical, then what will
let's
get
try it.
10 times?
Let's try.
Okay.
What?
Why false, not true?
See, in numeric it is 0, right?
Yeah.
Right. So 0 is equivalent to
Not.
false. Right. So by
Mm-hmm.
default, 0 or false or blank is what you start with. You know, that's what it indicates. So that's why false. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, second complex data type that we're going to talk about is called list. In list, you can have, so difference between list and vector is, in vector, every member has to be of same data type. But in list, there are of different data types.
Mm-hmm.
It can have different data types. For example, that I have on the screen, it says list, and list can have a vector also inside it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so vector is also data type, correct? That's what we have discussed so far. So
Yeah.
list can have different data types. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it even can have a list inside it. So if I put, let's say, something called as list 2 equal
Mm-hmm.
to, okay, and the keyword that we use to create list is called list simple bracket open. For
Okay.
vector, we have both vector and C. Difference between vector and C is, in C we have to pass the values, but in vector we just have to pass the data type and the number of values that it
Mm-hmm.
can hold. Correct?
Okay.
But if you are
Okay.
going
Yeah.
giving C, you can give the values. For all
Mm-hmm.
the other data types that you're going to talk about, it is the same name. Okay, so it's not
Mm-hmm.
confusing. C,
Oh,
you might get confused. C means what? C means vector.
mm-hmm.
Okay, but
Okay.
if you're creating a list, you have to say list. So you
List.
say
Yeah.
list to equal to list of
Mm-hmm.
5, comma, you know,
Mm-hmm.
hello, comma, color. Okay. You can
Mm-hmm.
even define a vector here. And how do we define vector? Using C and bracket open, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can say 4, 6, 8. Okay. Now I say print list 2.
Just two.
Let me run it. Okay. So see here.
Got five.
So list is running from here. Correct?
Yeah.
So it is saying first value is only one value. So this indicates line number. This
Mm-hmm.
is line 1 of list
Yeah.
and it has only one value. So 1 5.
Mm-hmm.
Line 2 of list, one value. Line 3 of list, one value. It is red, green, blue. Line 4 is 4 6 6.
Project.
Right? You can
Mm-hmm.
even define, let's see if this works. 6 colon 99. Okay? So fifth value is 6 to 99.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So list is like a vector. It's a linear. Linear means one dimension. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a linear one dimension variable and it can store different
Different data types.
data type. Unlike vector, which stores same data type.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the difference between list and vector. And in list, you can store a vector also. Okay,
Okay.
list can have a vector also inside. Okay. So whatever we have discussed till now are called linear. Linear means one dimension. Okay, only one. Next
Mm-hmm.
one is
Mm-hmm.
called matrix. Okay, matrix, as
Yeah.
you have seen in mathematics, it's a two dimension. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but in R, matrix can have multi dimension. More than one dimension is multi dimension. Okay, so you can have two
Yeah.
dimension. Did I get it right or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this is example of matrix. Matrix, so any variable equal to matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Keyword is matrix, and you define a vector. So the first member or the first input that we provide to matrix is a vector. Okay, it is always a vector, not a list. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when you define a vector, so we pass all the values, then we call it, then we give number of rows and number of columns. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
how many rows and how many columns will it have?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why n row and n col. N row is number of rows, n
Mm-hmm.
col is number of
Number
columns,
of column.
and second one is by row. By row equal to true. Okay, that means how will the value be displayed on the screen? Okay,
Okay.
so let me show you this. So I'm saying m equal to matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, matrix, and the first value that we need to pass is a vector. Okay,
Vector.
so let me
Mm-hmm.
pass color. Okay, I'm passing color variable. Color variable is a vector.
Mm-hmm.
Now I
Mm-hmm.
have to say n row and n col. Okay, so one thing that you have to understand in R programming, and we'll talk more about it when we talk about functions, is that
Mm-hmm.
when you have something like this, n row equal to 2, okay, some
Mm-hmm.
variable equal to some value, something equal to something. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now if you see here, okay, the first value, it does not say vector equal to c something, it does not say values equal to, it is
Mm-hmm.
only one value. There is nothing called as uh, uh, something equal to something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when it does not talk about something equal to something, that means the order is
Mm-hmm.
important. Okay, and
Okay.
I'm explaining you again. I'll talk about it. So when you do
Mm.
not have something equal to something and you have to pass a value, that means order is important. So in this case, you have to pass color as a value. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're passing color as a value, that means, and there's nothing called as equal to or value equal to or something equal to color, right? That means
Mm.
the value has to be the first member of this function. You cannot say, n row equal to 1 or 2, whatever,
Mm.
and then color.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not there something equal to something, then this has to be the first member or first argument. We spoke about argument yesterday. It has to be the
Yeah.
first argument. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now when you have these things, it means that order is not important.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's
Mm-hmm.
say I tell you, just please,
Mm-hmm.
uh, 5 p.m. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now when I say 5 p.m., you will start wondering what did he say.
Good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
5 p.m. are we going to have class? 5
Mm-hmm.
p.m. I'm going to submit the notes. What is
Mm-hmm.
5 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yeah.
the code starts with the first value that I'm going to tell you is the time of the class. If I say 5 p.m., you get it. Oh, 5 p.m. means the class will start at 5 p.m. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I can say venue is classroom, a department
Mm-hmm.
is this. Now, in that case, when I'm giving you complete information,
Yeah.
order may not be important.
Okay.
See, when I give you coded information, then you want to know the logic behind it. What is that code,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So here I'm saying color. You said what is color? Okay, so first value that ever you give is a values. Okay, so color is a value.
Mm-hmm.
But here it's a complete information. And row equal to 2 and col equal to 3 is a complete information. When you
Mm-hmm.
have complete information, in that case,
We don't have
you don't
to.
have to give order. Order is not
Okay.
mandatory, it's not important. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what it means is when you say I can write by row, but this spelling is important. It has to be, see, it has come here. It has to be in the same what do you call, like, format, all small.
Mm-hmm.
By row equal to true, boolean, comma, okay, and goal equal to, okay, so let's see how many elements are there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm.
9, let's make it as 3 by 3 matrix. So I'm saying n col number of column equal to 3 and row equal to 3. So
Mm-hmm.
number of rows is 3, number of column is 3, and I'm saying by row equal to true. Okay, so let me run this and see the output. Where's the output? Okay, I have to say print m, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it has printed in 3 metric format. 3 rows, 3 columns. Okay, as we said, 3 rows, 3 columns. It has printed 3 rows, 3 columns.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see how the value is printed here. When I said by row equal to true, that means I am telling put the values by row.
Okay.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you have first value as red. Okay, so
Yeah.
red is the first value. Now, when you say green, where should the green go? I'm saying
The
by
row.
row. So populate
Mm-hmm.
first row, then second row, then third row.
Third row.
So red, green, blue. So red, green, blue came in first row. Then
Okay.
5 went to second row. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 went in second row. Okay. Now, if I copy and paste same thing and put as false. So I'm saying by row false.
False.
That
So it
means
means by columns, right?
by columns. So first column will be printed. So your red, green, blue will be below each other.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I say false. Now let me print M and see. Okay, so red, green, blue, first column.
It comes in column. Okay.
Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what by row
Yeah.
by column. Okay, so matrix is by default two dimensional by
Yeah.
row and column. Okay, it is two dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have something called as array. Okay, now each of these things are different in different languages. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
vector, it does not exist. The term vector does not exist in any other language. Array has a different meaning in Java, in Python, and other places. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
in our array means it is multi-dimensional. You can have two dimensional also, but you can have three
Mm-hmm.
dimensions as well, four dimensions. Okay, vector is one dimension, list is one dimension, matrix is two dimension,
And
and
it's
array
multi.
is multi-dimension. Okay, so here, okay, so one thing you have to know here. See, the values here in matrices were 9, so we could say 3 into 3. Okay, but let's say
Mm-hmm.
you have 9, but let's say we try to create 2 by 3. Okay, what will
Mm-hmm.
happen? Okay, so it says in matrix, the data length of 9 is not a sub multiple or multiple of number of columns 2. So what is the how many elements do we need for this? N col and n rows. Where n col is 2, n rows is 3, we need 6 elements,
Yeah.
correct? But how many elements we had? 9 element. So it's not able to create a matrix. Okay. Now if I make it 4,
Where? Mm-hmm.
see, I'm saying number of column equal to 2, number of rows equal to 3, right? So two
Mm-hmm.
rows and three columns means you need 2 into 3, 6 values. So you need 6
Mm-hmm.
values to populate this matrix. But how many values you have?
9.
9 values, right? So
Yeah.
it's not able to fulfill. It's not able to create a matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not able to create a matrix. Okay. Now let's say I go to color and make it 8. The mouse. Okay. Okay. Then I say here 2, 2 comma 4, which is 8, and I say okay. So now if I run it, so first one it is able to create 2 comma sorry,
Yeah.
not 8.
God, just give me a one. Just give me one minute.
Yeah, yeah,
Just.
sure, sure.
Yes, God. I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So we have 8 values here, and when I say 2, 4, it suits here, and when I say 4, 2, perfectly it suits. So it's going to run it without any problem, right? I say run, so you get to see uh, 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 4 rows, 2 columns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here you have 4 columns, okay,
4 rows.
4
Mm-hmm.
rows. So how many elements we have? 16
16.
elements is required. How many
Mm.
elements did you have originally? 8,
8.
right? So
How?
8
How
and
8? Can you describe how? I mean.
see 8 elements are there, right? I've removed one element. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elements,
Okay. 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 I got it.
right? In the vector color, we have 8 elements. So when I
Mm-hmm.
did 2 comma 4, it perfectly put as 8 elements. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
when I did 4 comma 4, 16. right?
Mm-hmm.
So 8 could go into 16 twice, two times. So
Two
what
times.
happens? The values is going to repeat. If it is a multiple or sub multiples, it works fine. So if
Mm-hmm.
I say 4 comma 4, 16, that means 16 is a multiple of 8, right? Two times. So
Mm-hmm.
values will repeat two times.
Okay.
If I say 2 by 2, and if I run it, sub multiples also accepted. Half. So red, blue, green, 5. First four element is added here. Red, green, blue, 5. It will ignore 10, 15, 20, 25. 10, 15, 20,
Oh,
25. Yes. Okay.
so
So
it
it
took
has to be
first four, right?
first four. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be multiple or sub multiple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I cannot have, let's say, 2 comma 3. Let's try this. What did the error
Is
say?
hmm.
Data length. Data length means the value, vector value. Vector is 8. Is not a sub multiple or multiple of number of rows.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yep.
this is new thing you have to remember. It has to be, so if your vector length is say x, you can create a matrix of size x by 2, x by 3, x by 4, x by 5, so on, or x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, so on.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be a sum multiple or multiple.
People.
You cannot create a
Yep.
matrix of any size.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is about matrix. Coming to array,
Yep.
okay, so let's say I'm defining an array A equal to matrix. Sorry, array. We are doing talking about array.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no difference here. See, it's very this thing. Array is the keyword. So A equal to array, and I'm passing color. Color is of size 8. Now I'm saying I have to pass another factor called dim. Dim means dimension. It's a short form of dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dim is short form of dimension. I'm saying dim equal to another vector. Okay, and that
Mm-hmm.
vector will define the structure of your array. So if
Oh,
I say 1 comma 4 comma 2, it means one row, four columns, and two depth. You can imagine as a three dimension, as a cube.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so it will have one face, then four, on x axis, y axis is the four, and z axis it's two.
Third. No,
So
it's
if
two.
I, okay, we will practice this and see. I say print A, right? Run it. Oh, sorry. This has to be here. Okay. A equal to array color dim. Okay. Which error are we getting? What? Is it for A only? Okay, let's delete all this. Okay, you have already copied, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see which is throwing error. Okay, there is no error. So some that was throwing error, but probably because something else. So
Mm-hmm.
you see, color is red, green, blue, eight members, and I'm saying A equal to array of dimension 1, 4, 2. So when you see here, it is showing one. One means one row, and in one row, this is your values. Four rows and two columns. This is your second
Mm-hmm.
two. So see, comma, comma, 1 means, so this is displayed and this is Z is shown here. So Z is 2, right? So this is
Mm-hmm.
your first Z and this is your second Z.
Second.
Okay. And if so, if you take out Z, then what remains is 1, 4. One row, 4 columns. So one row, 4 columns, one row, four
Mm-hmm.
columns. And by default here in array, you don't say by, by row. By default, it takes by row only. Okay.
Okay.
Same thing, you can give 2, 3. Okay. So if I run this, so here 3, 4, 2, how many elements you need? You need 24 elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 into 4 into 2, 12 into 2, 24. And how many elements we have? 8. That means those same number of elements will repeat 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see 1, 2. Okay. This is Z is 2, 1, 2, and 3, 3 into 4. So this is 3 rows, 4 columns, 3 rows, 4 columns.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see what happens if I make this as 3. Okay, let's make this as 3. 3 into 3 into 3. How many elements? 27.
27.
And what is the size? 8.
So
Is
it's
it a
not.
multiple or submultiple?
No.
Okay. But
Is it?
only in array, it will
Okay.
work fine.
Okay.
Array, it does not check whether it's a multiple or submultiple. It
So
will keep on
what's.
repeating. It will keep on
Mm-hmm.
repeating till it
Mm-hmm.
satisfies. So if let's say if you have 8 elements, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say you are printing 10, it
Mm-hmm.
will assign 8, and then the first two will be added.
Okay.
Okay, so here 27, right? So
Mm-hmm.
8 3 are 24. So
Mm-hmm.
all the elements will be assigned 3 times,
Like 3 times.
and then for remaining 3 blank spaces, the first 3 elements will be
First
added,
three.
and it will then stop there.
Okay.
So see here,
And
red, green.
the arrangement in the first where your arrow is, the arrangement is like a linear wise, red, green, then blue, then 5, 10. But in the second one, why the arrangement is different?
Yeah, it's all continuation. Okay, red, green, blue, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, then
Mhm.
red. So red, green, blue. It's all continuation. So
Okay,
see,
after the red, it's green, blue. Okay.
yeah, red, green, blue, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Again, red, green, blue. 5,
Mm,
10, 15, 20, 25, red, green, blue.
okay.
So till here, 3 times plus the first three comes here.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So here there is no sub multiple this thing. Whatever, if I give small also, let's say I give 1 comma 1 comma 1. Okay. 1 comma 1 comma 1. 1 can be sub multiple. Let's say I say 1 comma 1 comma no 1 comma 1 comma 3. Let's say here 3 is not
Mm-hmm.
sub multiple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So red, green, blue. Only first three will be printed. But this will not work in vector. Vector, it will we have to give combination of
It's
four.
multiple or something.
At least four. Okay, they cannot give three, but in
Mm-hmm.
array it works.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so right now what we are doing is we are learning this thing concept. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
after we learn the concept, then we'll apply these concepts independently, right? We'll
Mm-hmm.
we'll solve some problems, some programs,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we get into machine learning, we will be using these things. Okay,
Okay.
matrices and vectors are the one that we are going to use mostly. List, array, at least not from our domain perspective. Okay, it is
Mm-hmm.
used in other places, but not from
Mm-hmm.
our domain perspective. What is
Okay.
another important topic which we will be using a lot in machine learning, a lot, are the next two topics: data frames and you call as factors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these two things we'll do, and we will end the day. Okay.
Okay.
And then we'll have a break for 2 days, and then we'll meet on Sunday, and from Sunday we'll have continuous classes. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So factor um, is like a vector. So you pass a vector into factor. But
Mm-hmm.
how it is different is in vector, those elements, those members are independent of each other, right? You can have 5, 10,
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
But factors mean it is a repetition. It is like, you know, uh, you'll have values repeating. Okay, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you have 10, let's say in your class you have 50 students, for example, just telling. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what is their gender?
Male,
Gender will be
female.
either male or
Mm-hmm.
female, right?
Mm-hmm.
So male, female, those are like options we call them, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
data could be 1 million record, but in even
Mm-hmm.
in 1 million record, you'll have only male, female,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yep.
gender is like a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Factor means it's a option, choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, nationality can be a factor. Age group, not age, but age group. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say below 20, 20 to 40, 40 to 60. Those can be again your factor.
Factor. So it could be only two, or it can be more than two.
No, it can be many. Okay, it can
Okay.
be many.
Okay.
What difference is that it has to be repetition. The options that
Repetition.
you see, like for
Mm-hmm.
example, education level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never went to school, intermediate, graduate, postgraduate,
Mm-hmm.
PhD,
Okay.
postdoctorate. Those are like, so you
Yeah.
have to select option. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
option could be 10 option also, it can be 15 option also, but
Mm-hmm.
those values are fixed. Unlike, let's say, your roll number, or let's say your marks. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can get marks even, let's say, in decimal 15.57, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those become unique values. Okay. Now, uh, so factors are those values which
Yeah.
are common and repeating. Okay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and mostly when you talk about your application form, the point, those fields which you choose from drop down or
Mm-hmm.
checkbox.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot add your own value. Other the value, if you have divided as a groups, basically it's like groups. So if you
Mm-hmm.
have divided into 5 groups or 7 groups or 20 groups, those
Mm-hmm.
groups will be 20 only. I cannot have 21st
Mm-hmm.
values getting
Yeah.
entered into it,
So it's a fixed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? So those are
Yep.
called factors.
Okay.
And it is important, very important data analysis perspective, and when we come into, we'll talk about it more into it, that
Mm-hmm.
what happens is when you talk about values. Okay, so if I
Mm-hmm.
say value is uh, 10 and 15, okay, let's say marks is 70 and 75.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say marks is 70 and 75, it means that 75 is more than 70. Okay, it gives you some meaning. When you see a
Mm-hmm.
student marks, you say one student got 75, one is got 70. You'll
Mm-hmm.
make some calculation in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this guy got 75. That means he's studying more.
Mm-hmm.
His he works harder. Those kind of assumptions you'll make,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the numbers are important. Okay, those numbers are important.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about factors, if I say, he's male and she's female, it does not give you any kind of indication.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She can be intelligent, or he can also be more intelligent than her. Just by looking at gender, you cannot make your assumption. Just
Yeah.
by looking at your education qualification, you cannot make some assumption.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are passing these value, if you pass this as a value to computer, in when the computer means
Mm-hmm.
machine learning kind of application,
Mm-hmm.
if you do not specify that these are factors, it's going to give some significance into it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you So generally, what happens is if it gives as male and female, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So internally, it will assign list of alphabetical order. So F comes before M. So F will be assigned value 0 and M will be assigned value 1.
Mm-hmm.
Machine will think, male are more stronger, more intelligent because value is 1 and female value is 0.
Okay.
Right? But we want to tell machine that no, it's not like that. Okay? Though it is different values, but don't treat it differently. It is
Mm-hmm.
a like city in which you live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that you are any intelligent or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have to define that as factor before actually working on those data types. And this is how you define them as factors. You pass vector
Mm-hmm.
into factor, and
Mm-hmm.
factor will then convert into these unique values. For example, yes, no. Okay, you can have
Yeah.
yes, no, or yes, no, maybe. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
passing factor yes, no into factor. It's a vector with 5 rows, and values are
Mm-hmm.
yes, no. Okay, and when
Mm-hmm.
you pass into x, it becomes level. So how many levels? 2 levels. No and yes. Why did no come first?
Mm-hmm.
Because alphabetical order, no comes before yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though you have yes, two yes, then no, but in order, n comes
Mm-hmm.
first, and is alphabetical order, n comes first. So you have no yes, okay? And then if you take table of x, you get no 2 times, yes 3 times. And
Why no
internally
comes
it is
first?
alphabetical order, n comes
Okay,
before y.
alphabetically. Alphabetically. Okay.
Yeah. Internally, though, I just said not 0 1, but starts with 1. In R, counting starts from 1. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
n will be assigned, no will be assigned value 1, and yes will be
Mm-hmm.
assigned value 2. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
you see 2 2 1 2 1. 2 means yes, right? So yes, no, yes, no. So 2 2 1 2 1.
Okay.
Okay, this is how if type, you can see that I'm not doing it because uh, you know you have the code in front of you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this is what
Mm-hmm.
it means. It's going to convert into a, uh factor, and factor means
Mm-hmm.
those fixed values, which generally means no value, no specific value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the
Yeah.
the last one, not third one, the last one is called data
Data.
frames. Okay, it is defined as data dot frame. So
Mm-hmm.
list, array, matrix, factor, vector,
Mm-hmm.
tree or vector. A data frame is data dot frame. This is how you define.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And uh, it is like your database. It will have row
Mm-hmm.
and column.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here we are defining rows which are like gender, height, weight, and age. These are the
Mm-hmm.
5 headers, and we are assigning vector into each one of them. Something
Mm-hmm.
gender equal to male, female. Height
Mm-hmm.
152, 170, 165. Weight 81, 93, 78. Age 42,
Mm-hmm.
38, 26. And when I
Okay.
print this data frame, you get in this
Mm-hmm.
order: gender, height, weight, and age. So when you get data for data analysis, it will be mostly in CSV or Excel format, right? So when you get
Mm-hmm.
this data in Excel format, you will have headers like serial
Mm-hmm.
number, just like this: gender, height, weight, age. So to read such values into our R, we will define a data frame. So see, data will be in Excel, but to work on the data, we need to import into our we have to import into our R program to work upon it, right? So we will
Mm-hmm.
import CSV and Excel into R into in data frame format.
So we create a table, right, with a data frame.
Yeah, so data frame is like creating a table. So table in R is called data frame. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how you'll be able to mimic exact same replica of Excel into your data in R in data frame. And we will do
Okay,
that.
it's like
We will do a lot of applications using this, so you see. So this is
yeah,
just to make you understand this is how it is used. Yeah, tell me.
like you put gender, height, weight, age. Whatever you put, it will come on the first row, right? Like this.
First column, you mean to say?
Co-
Uh, First column, right? Male, female, you're saying.
Um,
So it is your first column. So gender is your first column.
First
Height is your second
column.
column. Weight is
Height
your
is my
third column.
second column. Okay.
Right, right. And values that you assign to it will be falling
Mhm.
right below that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll stop here for today. Okay,
Mhm.
um, and from we'll meet on Sunday. Okay,
Yeah.
so as a split. So we will go slow. We'll make slow because we want to understand. Once we
Yeah.
yeah once we understand, we'll go faster.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
great.
Okay.
So
Okay,
yeah,
Gaurav.
so
Thank you. Yeah.
practice, yeah,
Mhm.
practice, and we'll see you after 2 days.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Sure. Bye.
Okay. Bye. हेलो हो गया खत्म हम्म, तेजू 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 it's my specialty in this course क्योंकि इसमें maths